morning. Welcome to the Dawn Patrol. I'm Bob Hoey, the host today. I'm by myself because NED TARMEY is off today and Tom BOMIL is off today. John McDonough is behind the camera, and anybody else that's out there watching, feel free to call in with any idea or any opinion you have. That's what this show's all about. It's cold out, very cold. Bundle up. It's going to snow again, I believe, Saturday. This coming Saturday, we might have some more snow, and we should all pray for snow because when I seen these videos on Facebook of the South Common with kids using the South Common, it just made my day. That's the way I want to start off this show. We're not done over at the South Common. We got to fix that housing authority. We got to fix drugs. We've got a lot of people involved in this. A lot of people are working hard. We only sit here and chirp about it. But I tell you, I'm very proud of the city council and the mayor. It's a new year, 1954 is when I was.
Way back.
Hey, I was born in 1954, and I know you were born before me, John.
51.
51. But 2025 is going to be quite a year. It's an election year in Lowell. We heard about Danielle. Help me out.
Keith Rudy's not coming either. He's not
No,
feeling
Keith
tip-top.
Rudy's off too. But I
Maybe
think
he'll
of
come next
McFadden. I think of this girl McFadden that put her name in citywide for the schools. And it absolutely excites me. I'm excited about that because if you remember last election, we had no one that would run citywide. The school committee needs a big change. There's no doubt in my mind, I'm telling you right now, that my name will be on the ballot citywide. I'll never run in my own district, even though I live in Belvedere now. If I lived in South Lowell, I probably would run in my district. But they moved me into Belvedere, and I've called that place the swamp too many times, and I was fighting against it for years. Then along came my senator right now, Ed Kennedy, which gets knocked a lot because he was a downtowner like myself. A lot of beefs go on about the high school still. It hasn't died. The issue hasn't died. But a lot of great things have happened, especially under the city council and this mayor. Things have changed so much that I feel like there's hope for my grandchildren. I'm only 70. But who excited me this year? I'm going to tell you who excited me. If you have someone that motivated you or excited you, send in their name. But I'm going to tell you there's a guy, and I don't know him that well, but I do go out to eat with him now and then. His name's Fred Wilkie. And all he told me to do is live. Live. He's a little older than me. I think he's closer to 80. I'm only 70. Closer to 90. But he goes around calling himself Crabby Wilkie, right? Crabby, like he's a crab. No. That's what I got off that guy this year. Just live. Live. You know, I got 5 grandchildren. I got a lot of free time. I do love schools. I love teachers. I want to talk about teachers like no one ever talked about them before. We've ruined teachers. We've ruined nurses. You ruined prison guards. You ruined cops. We can't do our jobs. You can't do your job the way you're supposed to. And if you do your job, you get in trouble. And that will be an issue for another time. I just want to tell you, bundle up today if you go out. It's very cold. Tomorrow's going to get colder. And yesterday I had a day that I could open all my doors and get fresh air in the house. Obviously, you got to worry about some people you live with that you can't bring home, a flu. So if you're sick, stay home. Stay home. If you're sick, stay home from school. All you're going to do is spread it. And I'm fearing that's coming again. You know, the issue that brought down my second favorite guy, Mike Dillon, you know, COVID issue. You know, should I get a shot? You're going to get a shot or we're going to fire you. I mean, think of what they've done to us in the past 10 years. Anybody, I don't care, even businesses. Businesses don't get any help. That's how I you know, the business tax, whatever you want to talk about. See me on Thursday when Sam Chase is around me and we could talk about taxes. But today it's just about teachers for me. That's it. And Miss McFadden, I'll tell you something. You don't know what you started. We need our schools to be repaired, and not just inside or roofs leaking or heat. And they've done a great job, the city council, on all those issues. Eric Gitches helped me get heat in the Riley School when they had no heat. Helped me get water in the Riley School when they had no water. I mean, and the mayor did the biggest thing of the year to me. Really. And that was when he came out and he made Dr. Skinner I like to call him Liam. Liam Skinner, the superintendent of schools. In my lifetime, there was no better principal than him because he taught kids discipline, respect, what else is a good word? Be polite, and always had the top 5 or 6 kids at the Stocklosa Knowledge Bowl every year in and year out. And if any principal, and he was in charge of principals before he became the superintendent. He was in charge of the principals, and it was already moving really well. He only did it for a short time until Danny Rourke, the mayor, basically with my friend Dominic Lay, their votes put that guy in that seat, and they showed the whole system. 1,200 teachers, 500 paras, all those numbers. Showed the whole system. There's a career ladder in Lowell. Now, I know there's a lot of people that already don't like Mr. Skinner. I know that. People chirp to me about everything.
He's the no guy. He's the only guy who could say no.
Well, like I just said to you, the number 2 issue in the Lowell school system, folks, and please call me anytime, my number. I'll say it some other time in the show because we've got plenty of time today. We need to get the parents really involved. You know who I think of right now? Jim Peters. Why?
I saw Jim in church the other day.
Yeah, you know why I think of Jim Peters? And he run not against me, but I run at the same time for the school committee with Jim Peters. And I'll never forget, we're all sitting there at Lowell High School getting questions thrown at us. And then, Jim, what's the issue that you think we need to fix? And Jim goes, bullying. It just rocked my world because I was bullied as a kid, as big as I was. And I probably accidentally, I never tried to bully anybody, but I might have done it myself. But there's nothing worse than a bully. Nothing worse. You got to fight back all the time. If you don't, they'll bully you to the end of your life. But when Jim Peters said that to me, I goes, oh boy, that's the issue of the night. The high school was having a big issue at the time. And there's a lot of children that still get bullied today. And it ain't the children, it's the parents. 99 out of 100 times that I've seen a bully case, the parents are worse than that little kid. That's the real problem. I don't know how to fix that by myself, but when it comes to discipline, I say it's the number 2 issue in the Lowell school system. And you have no better superintendent, so you know who I would support if I get elected, is Liam Skinner. And he needs at least, to get this system squared away, he would need at least 6 to 9 years, almost like a George Anthes. I'll never forget that. That was my favorite motion of all time. I made a motion, I moved that we hire Mr. Sapasavas for 3 more years. Basically, give him a 3-year contract extension, something John McDonough does not like contracts, right? But I gave him one of those with a motion.
Bobby,
And
Good.
the only reason why I gave him one of those is because I tried to find someone that could outwork him, like an Eric Itcher. Who else can outwork that guy? Well, the same thing went for Sapasaris. When I seen that man work 16, 18 hours a day, every day of the week, I was definitely blown away by him. And no one ever told me what kind of motion to put in. And I made a couple of big mistakes. No, I'd say at least one real bad mistake when I look back. And I bring his name up all the time. And John, interrupt me anytime you want.
Go ahead, Bob.
But-
You're on a roll, baby.
Yeah,
Keep going.
well, George D. Cooler Harris. His name was above the Irish Auditorium at Lowell High School not too long ago, but they started to tear things down. They're not tearing that school down. And I hope that name goes right back up where it was. Because there was a real big issue at the time when I run for school committee back in the 90s. I run on, I'm going to get rid of bilingual education. Okay, Mr. Tough Guy, I'm going to get rid of it. Well, of course, George Cooler Harris thought I was the best thing since white rice. But along came me becoming a school committee person and meeting all different types of people. I can give you their names off air. But they convinced me on top of my wife saying, Bob, just do what we do at Head Start. My wife was a bus driver for Head Start. You take all 4-year-old kids, Bob, and you put them in together in 1 year, they'll all be speaking English. And that's why I run like that, you know. But then when I got elected, people that worked in the system proved to me, I thought, I felt good about it, that there was some children that needed it. That's it. Boom, a bell goes off in my head, because even 2 children, if they need it, I want them to get that help. That's the type of person I am. So I backed out. I flip-flopped on an issue, that issue, bilingual education. We would have got rid of it probably at that time. But I weakened. I backed out. And I know there's a lot of people right now to this day, we don't talk about bilingual education anymore because we have almost 80 different nationalities in those schools. But when I look back at that issue, I made a mistake at that time, I think, for the people of color, the people that can't speak English. I said, I got to help them. George Harris is going to help them. I'm helping them. And then I backed down on it. To this day, I don't know if I was right or wrong, but it's a big part of our school system, not as big as special ed problems that I'm going to be able to talk about. I got an automatic bully pulpit right here. If you want to run for city council or school committee, come on the show. You see Eric Gitchick on the show, Danny Rook on the show, you know, Fred Bahu's on the show. I could keep giving you names that come on the show. Dominic Lay, he comes on the show, but not with me. Not with his best friend.
Not afraid of the hard questions.
No, but things like this, John, I'm telling you, you don't know how, people don't see what you're doing. I mean, I appreciate this. This is free. And if you want to run in any district, like District 4 right here, you don't need a city councilor.
Bobby, it's like golf. It's a hobby. We're not really good at it, but we're okay with it.
I don't look at it as a hobby. My hobby is to get to Saratoga Racetrack once a year, you know, something like that. That would be my hobby. Every now and then just to get away with your friends and have a great time. That's my favorite trip of the year. I know you like cruises a lot, but I don't have a... My wife said to me the other day, when are you going to get your passport? I said, I don't need one.
Yes, you do.
She goes,
They could kick you out of the country, Bobby, you know.
Well,
You know
my
how
friend-
vindictive Massachusetts can be.
I never wanted to leave this country, and thank God I never had to leave it. I went to Canada a few times, but that's when you didn't need a passport. Pretty soon, I'll be able to go to Canada. Might be able to run to be governor of Canada after Trump's done. What do we got, Monday? It's been a long wait to get Trump into that seat. I can't wait to see what starts to happen. Good or bad, we need change.
Hey, if you want to call Bobby, the phone
Yeah.
number's on the screen there. You can call or text. That cell phone, 978-808-8200. Also, if you go on Facebook and you watch us on Facebook, you can send John McDonough an instant message, and I'll be happy to put it up on the screen. Please proceed.
Yeah, well, thank you. Like I said, John, thanks for what you're doing. And people, if anybody's watching this on Facebook or even when the City Life comes on at 7 o'clock, don't forget, if you want to run, here's the place to start right here. He gives you an opportunity to come on here and say what you want to say. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Well, maybe
And-
Karen Cassella will say,
Okay.
if it helped her at all.
What do you got Cameron's name there for?
She's coming at 7.
Is she really? Oh, wow. I thought I was stuck here by myself. Now I can slow down. That's one of the best things I've seen happen in years right there. But you could match what Karen Cassella did to what Danny Rourke did. And Dominic Lay. I got to throw Dominic's name because Dominic, you flip-flopped. You were with the girls. You wanted to do a worldwide search for a superintendent. But Dominic Lay, let me tell you, buddy, it was the biggest vote you ever made in your life. Just my opinion. Okay? And why I like Liam Skinner, I could sit here the whole hour and talk about him. It's discipline is the issue. This is what I get off the teachers I respect. The ones that talk to me. Hi, Bob, we miss you. I wish you were back here. Well, maybe, you know, this and that. There's no doubt about it. Discipline's right there, either one or two. I think it's special ed. We're not spending enough. Imagine that. We're not spending enough. And we should save. And I've already been to the mayor's office one time. I'm not afraid to say it. I've been to Dan's office one time just to say, Danny, please think about the Lowell Trade School building. don't give it to a nonprofit. I said it almost exactly like that. We need that school for special ed. Special something. Whoops, excuse me. Like Cliff Krieger. Cliff's been talking about this since I've been on this show. We need 2 high schools. Because listen, if your kid goes to the Immaculate, okay, if you're lucky enough to have them at Lowell Catholic or the Immaculate, good for you, and God bless you, you deserve it. Now that child, when he finishes, or her, finishes in the 8th grade, I'm telling you, don't be afraid to go to Lowell High. Other than this, Lowell High has to repair itself a little bit in a discipline and a little bit more security. But a smart child shouldn't avoid Lowell High. There's too much money. There's too much money at Lowell High. We give over $500,000 away in scholarship money. Some kids get $8,500, some get $250. Those are things I love to talk about, because Lowell is a giving city. Plus, you have some of the best math teachers you'll ever meet in your life, and my granddaughter proved it to me. Latin Lyceum, went in a lot of different high honors math, took as many math courses as she could take, and boy, do we have some good math teachers in this city. Yeah.
I'm going to put this on the screen. This is Scott McGrath. I don't know if he's down in Brazil or back up in lovely Lowell.
Yeah.
He sent us this little video this morning of when ICE comes to your job. This is coming up in a few weeks. When ICE shows up at a job site, are you going to hide? Are you seeing this?
Yeah, I'm looking. Yep, I'm seeing it.
So thank you, Scott, for sending this our way. But I don't think this is really going to happen. I think that's there's going to be a lot of forgiveness here, a lot of understanding, and that's just the American way. And people who, my immigrants, my family that came here over 100 years ago, I'm glad they brought me here. And these people just came here for a better life, and they're working. They're not robbing jewelry stores, selling drugs.
Yeah.
So I don't think these people really have a worry. I think their boss will stick up for them, and I think that's how Trump's going to do it. If your boss sticks up for you, you got to become a citizen. But this is comical in one way, but for the bad people, you're going back, buddy.
Yeah, see, I agree with what Trump's going to do. Go after the bad ones. You'll have hard enough time to get all of those. Just go after them for right now. Go after them. The other ones that are working and paying taxes and doing the right things, we don't have to pressure them too hard yet. But too many people are being overlooked. Watch what happens in this state where we live. This is incredible. And I was just talking about, I want to stick with it and then I'll stay on this issue you brought up, John, was my granddaughter was talking about how she took, Latin Lyceum and high honors math and everything. And then she looked at Lowell for engineering. And I couldn't believe it. She got a beautiful job out of Lowell High School with the DOT. But I always stressed STEM. Like across the street, the Rogers School, my favorite school. You know that. I've talked about that 1,000 times on this show, at least. I was disciplined in that school.
The freezing cold across the street.
Well, especially young girls.
Great place for a Lowellian to send your kid. Send your kid to the STEM Academy. Great education over there. Good discipline. Good school.
And I look at STEM all the time, and you got to make sure you say STEAM. For Miss Donahue, she's always gets arts, Bob. Make sure you say STEAM. Okay, I just said it's STEAM. Arts are important, no doubt about it, especially for Lowell. Oh, yeah, by the way, I just went to a concert, Fleetwood Mac tribute band down off of Western Avenue. At the very end, I forget the name. The place has got a hard name like Tafiti. It's a music hall down like in a cellar. It's very nice. It's a good time. But you don't have to leave Lowell for the arts either. Lowell's got a lot of arts going around. But, yeah, I want to, just last thing, if my ADD's going off now. Right now I got 9 things on my mind. But one of the biggest things...
Use the paper over there. Write it down.
No, I don't like that. I'd rather just talk even when I make a mistake with my mouth. I could care less anymore about that. I really could care less. I think it's so important to get up off your rear end. Mike Dillon taught me that. Fred Wilkie taught me how to live, Bob, live. And I'm watching him, and it's just making me smile. just to see how that guy lives his life. And he's a little older, got grandchildren. He's got a granddaughter ready to have one. I think he's going to be a great-grandfather, maybe. I'm not sure about that.
Word on the street, Joanna, her water broke, so.
Oh, God bless her, and good luck.
Joanna Crooker, she's one of our favorite colleagues at the funeral home, and she's having her, hopefully, I had bet would be the 15th, so I hope she has tomorrow's the 15th, so I hope she has the baby today rather than tomorrow.
Yeah,
God
so,
bless her. Good girl.
yeah, she's a great kid.
Wonderful woman.
Great kid. Yeah, strong, too.
Hard worker, smart chick.
Very strong. She'll be beautiful. I think she already knows, right? A boy, I think?
Yep,
Right?
his
Yeah.
name's Jeff.
Jeff. All right. That's our new guy, Jeff Tarmey there, Ned's nephew. I liked having him on the show, and then I seen him flying a plane. That really excited me because,
He was up there with his granddaughter.
oh, yeah,
On
unreal. Unreal.
Her husband, Joanna's husband, is Jeffrey Crooker. He's a mechanic, fixes cars, and has his own shop, and good guy. That guy, he's a muscle builder, and he's one of those guys who can pull a freight train. He goes to, once a year, he goes to these
Strongman?
strongman things, and he pulls fire trucks and freight trains, and strong guy.
The only thing competition, and I didn't last in high school, like so many kids don't. But I wrestled in high school, freshman year. I like wrestling. I think wrestling's the best sport there is. I try to tell my grandchildren all the time, wrestling or track. Or swimming, those three. There's no politics in it. You're either the best at 150 pounds or you're not. Simple. In those three sports, you never get ripped off. But other sports, sometimes they play the mayor's friend or a policeman's friend or this. There was favoritism that went on in baseball for years, which is one of my favorite sports is baseball, but it's very tough game to play, and it's dangerous, Kids are afraid to get hit by a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. But Lowell, we have a Division I player now, Seamus Scott, out of Lowell Catholic, is going to go to U Lowell, play Division I baseball. Eric's son Zach tried to recruit him to bring him to his college. Zach, you can't win them all, buddy. Seamus Scott's a good friend of mine, and his father's been on the show.
Yep, good
His
guy.
father's been on the show, and to know I'm going to be able to go over here to Spinners Park, a place, and watch maybe, I don't know, upwards of 15 games a year of Division I baseball, it's a pretty good idea. I know a lot of friends that love it. Even in California, we talk over the Facebook about what the city council has done, especially trying to bring baseball back. I think this group of people out there, and Danny Rourke and his friend there, what was it, Matt LaLasher and that group, there's so many names, I'm just picking out a few names. Some great things are coming for Colley Stadium. They're building a beautiful place out there for our children, and come on. It's like, then we're going to have to go back and forth to heal the wound of where the high school was built. And when people bring that up to me, I goes, it don't matter where you build that high school. Build it out there. The roof will still leak. Your boilers will break down. I don't care where you build the high school. You're going to have damages. Why? They don't even, let me tell you this. I'll bet you it's been years before they put real air filters in HVAC units. Years. I know it goes on. It goes on in all commercial properties. Beware of your filters. It's a scam. A lot of people can scam you. Go up and put a piece of newspaper in there for your filter. You got to have eyes on everything, I'm telling you. And I'm sorry to sound so negative about things, but you do. Roofs, look at how much those cost nowadays. I wish I was still roofing. Boy, a lot of money.
Well, Bobby, speaking of roofs, if you have all the money in the world, what kind of roof do you put on a flat roof?
Well, me, I would put a 4-ply tar and gravel roof. 4-ply, though. It has to be 4-ply.
What's
4-ply just means,
No, slowly,
mean-
because we don't understand what you're talking about.
well,
So
it's
4-ply.
4-ply is when you tar down one layer of paper, and the roofing paper has lines in it. Then you want to go over it 4 different times. So it takes a long time to
So
do
that's
the roof.
5-ply.
Well, no, it's called a 4-ply tar and gravel roof. That's what I did back in the late 60s, early 70s with my uncles. And that roof there, if you do it now, and then over time, all they did was a 2-ply. They go up and only overlap it halfway.
What's that weigh?
What's that?
How much does that product weigh?
It weighs more than a rubber roof would weigh, but not that much more. If the roof is built right, that's, to me, we got an architect friend. Look at the way they design some roofs on any building you want to look at. Look at the design of roofs. They're trying to make them pretty.
Okay, so money bags, we can't afford the tar and gravel.
Yeah.
It's too much still. What's the next affordable
Then I would say
on a flat roof?
rubber. A person that knows how to do it right, a rubber roof. And I'm not an expert on rubber. All I ever did was tar and gravel, slate, and shingles. That's it. It's mostly shingles. And I recommend the 30-year
Okay, so
timberline.
we're gonna get onto the slanted roof in a minute there. So, all right, so then the second grade would be a rolled rubber roof, be your second choice for a flat roof. Is there a third, El Cheapo?
Yeah, now remember, I've been out almost 20 years. El Cheapo back in my days would have been like a 90-pound, was called 90-pound roll roofing, with sand, like stones on it, and about a 2-inch lip that you could nail along the top and then put tar on it, but you're looking at 90 pounds. Then they had a 50-pound roll, which is half, again. That was cheap roof, and it could last. If you knew how to put one down, it would last a long time. But very cheap. That's the cheapest way out. Now, if you have any slanted roof, you
Yeah, a regular pitched roof.
and you want the cheap one, right? You want it to only last 6 years, if it's lucky. You go after like Speedy Roofing. There's nobody that can.
Let's not use any company names.
Well, I'm just telling you to save money.
El Cheapo, so.
El Cheapo.
Okay, a slanted roof,
Yeah.
what's, Daddy Warbucks, you just won the lottery. What kind of slanted roof you putting on your new house?
In my house, I would want a 10-inch pitch on the roof, meaning the steepness of the roof. Nothing on it except maybe a stink pipe. No skylights, no nothing up there. Let the water and ice flow right off. I don't like gutters. I'm a guy that don't like gutters. But
All right, so what do you put on the roof? It's a wooden roof.
Yeah.
You probably have mahogany on your mahogany roof.
no. But go
All
ahead.
right, so tell us. I mean,
Yeah, on your
giant
roof, you'd want at least, if you had the extra money, it's what's underneath. What's underneath your shingles, you want good wood, so if the wood's rotted or it's no good, you want a plywood over it. I would say at least,
plywood or particle board?
I would always use a 1/2-inch plywood or 3/4 inch. Your roof is a very important part of a house, but builders, they start at the foundation and they move up. And as they get to the roof, they're almost out of money. Put the cheapest thing you can find up on the roof, and that's the most important part. It just is.
So if you're building Daddy Warbucks,
Yeah.
you're putting down 3/4 inch plywood or particle board?
Oh, plywood. I would always put plywood.
Not
Now, 3/4 inch, you wouldn't even use that anymore today. They'll use 1/2 inch, if anything.
So
yeah.
1/2 inch plywood.
I would use that, yeah.
Okay, now
And then
what do we put on top of the plywood?
Well, I would do the whole side with ice and water shield, Grace ice and water shield, but
What's
much money.
water shield?
it's just a sticky paper that when you put a nail through a shingle, put it in, and the Grace is underneath your shingle, the nail goes through the Grace, and then the heat just goes around that nail and makes it leak-proof. But a lot of builders will use the cheap stuff.
So what's the first layer I've put? What's it called?
Grace Ice and Water Shield. That
Grace,
should,
ice and water. Put that down first. Over
yeah, I
the whole
put.
roof.
Well, no one's going to do the whole roof, but I do at least 2 rows, about 6 feet up, just to help with ice damming. And then
Okay.
the rest would be just some type of felt paper. And
So
I
how do I
haven't.
put the shingles, or I put insulation, or what do I put next? I got this Grace thing up there.
After Grace, you go right to your shingles.
What kind of shingles are we putting up there? Daddy Warbucks.
I like GAF Timberline 30-year shingle.
So you wouldn't go with slate?
Well, if you got the slate on, you got the money, yeah,
Yeah,
slate's
you got
better.
the money. You just won the
Oh.
lottery.
Now I'm going to put a 30-year Timberline shingle on, because the roof
You're
will
not gonna
be.
do slate?
No, I'm gonna save the money to go to Saratoga in the summer.
Okay. So
I'm
what
gonna,
kind of
I'm gonna
slate?
put a roof on my house that's gonna last 30 years.
So Bobby, see,
30 years.
the reason I'm doing this exercise with you
Yeah.
is simply, I don't know about roofs. Okay,
Yeah.
Tyler Dyer, the great Tyler Dyer taught me when I was 15 years old. Kid, if you don't know how to run up on a roof with a roofer, you're gonna get screwed your whole life. You gotta go up on the roof with the roofer.
Yeah.
Now, with the development of drones, you don't have to go up on the roof anymore. You go up
Right.
and say, look, if this is my problem, I'm going to be able to check your work. And once the guy knows you have a drone, I think you're going to get a better quality workmanship out of the crew. But the product I put on the roof, so you're bantering around these figures, so would you tell the audience a little slower, please?
Yeah.
So you don't want slate.
No,
I'm emphasizing slate because I love slate, but that's okay. You don't
Yeah.
want slate, so what do I put up there, Mr. Millionaire?
well, nowadays, John, I haven't been around in a while. Nowadays, it'd be more metal type of roofs. They got all kinds of different products now. But my 40 years of roofing, I always tried to use either a bird shingle or a GAF shingle, and I ended up liking GAF shingles more because I never had any callbacks, which is all roofers' dreams. When you put a roof on, you don't want people calling you, I got a leak. And it's all about your nails. No matter what you put up there, your nails are the most important part of a shingle. I'm not talking these metal roofs now. Now they use screws and everything. But your nails, for years, people didn't know how to use the hammer and nails. A lot of them got a nailing gun. What do you think a nailing gun does? Most of the time, it just blows the nail right through the shingle. Useless. Unless you know how to use one, and you better know how. Not many can use one professionally. That's why there's another company in this area, I won't say his name since you said that does everything by hand. One nail at a time. And that's what I was. I was a hand banger, they called you. And you could do upwards of 9 bundles an hour, and that's how you got paid. I used to get $5 a bundle. Ooh, I was making money then. It's just, the business has gone. For a person like myself, gone.
Okay, so
You just can't compete with people that can work in 100-degree weather.
turn
You
to the
just
page
can't.
to El Cheapo.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. El Cheapo, what's the cheapest roof you can put on a pitched roof?
With some quality shingle.
What kind of shingle?
GAF, Timberline, and I would say a charcoal color, even though some people like white and
Do
this
they
and
come
that.
with, like, how long they'll last, like a 10-year, a 50-year?
This is a 30-year shingle. You can get them in Home Depot. Best shingle on the
But if
market.
you're El Cheapo, what's the cheapest thing I can put up there?
Probably like Owens Corning or something. You could pick that. I always used GAF, and years ago I used Bird. That was it. So I wouldn't know. I would say like a cheaper one could be,
So El Cheapo, call somebody else.
El Cheapo, go to the other one, Lowe's. You get the cheaper one there.
Okay, you got a couple of texts, Bob. You got another one I got to blast through and put it up there.
Yeah.
Good morning. At least there'll be someone in the White House who not a vegetable, put my glasses on, and can answer questions without hacking and coughing all over. That's me hacking and coughing this morning. That's from Jay. And next one is go after anyone, good or bad, that didn't do it the right way, jumping the line. I don't think so. That's the right way to do it. We're talking about immigration. I think we should get rid of the bad guys.
Well, number one, you know this state won't do it anyways. This state's not going to help.
This state's crazy. But what I would, if I was President Trump, I'd arrest the governor of any state that doesn't cooperate. Bring them to Washington, put them in jail, put them all on CNN so they're happy, all the Democratic friends can see them. And that's how I would handle it.
Yeah, they're already coming after him, and that's fine. All he has to do is his job. That's it. Do it. Throw them all out there. 100 executive orders on his first day. What's his first day? Monday, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can just sit back and relax and enjoy my city. That's all. It all comes back to me right now, right here, Lowell. Whoop, locally. I'll start driving most people crazy to watch this show because I'll be just talking about, number one, teachers. Teachers. Number two would be discipline. Number three, special ed is always going to be in my top issues. Biggest issue is save that Lowell high school. Save Lowell trade school, please. We're going to need it. You got 3,200 kids at Lowell High School. Come on, let's be real. How many? 1,400 of the top students are going to be fine in life. They're going to go somewhere. That's a good guess.
There's more than 1,400 kids at Lowell
Hold
High
on.
School.
No, I know. I said the top 1,400
Okay, I got you.
are going to be living large. They'll do fine. Now you got about another. Now you got about another 1,700 students. Most, just like me.
I used to go to
They're going
Lowell
to
High
disrupt
School.
the school.
I get invited, when I was on the radio a bazillion years ago, I get invited to speak to the senior class at Lowell High every year. And all I'd simply tell them is, look, it's your choice. You can work for the next 4 years, get good grades, get excellence in whatever walk of life you want to have, and you're going to have a nice life. Or you can goof off for the next 4 years and work for the rest of your life. And that's my advice to any kid today. You can either study in school, put your nose to the grindstone, never mind the girls, never mind the boys.
I do not watch that. Does Bob watch
Does
this
Bob
old
watch
house?
this old house
No,
on PBS?
no. When I come into the house, if my wife's on TV, she's watching something like that HVTV. She's the one that knows how to put cabinets in and do all the work.
How about the type of roof that are on cabins in many homes in Vermont?
Yeah, that metal. It's metal, and the snow slides off faster. There's no doubt metal roofs are nice roofs. They cost some serious cake. The better, of course, the more money you're going to pay. You know, you're looking at a guy that would just try to do everything himself. I stopped roofing years ago, but I still put my own roof on a few years back, only like 3 or 4 years ago, because I know I'll get at least 20, 25 years out of it. Then you got trees growing from the train tracks over your house that can cost you anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 to get rid of. And they're on the railroad side. That's the way I look at it. So what do I got to do it? So you guess what? I'm going to be shaded. I like shade. Shade's good for you. Other than you're going to have moss on your house. You're going to have those type of things.
You
When
got a little grandkid playing
sun
in the
is
backyard. Mama's gonna
the sun destroys your house and destroys your body. Too much of it, but it feels so good.
Unfortunately, most of the immigrants aren't the ones doing the roofing work that the lazy American kids won't do.
There's some truth to that. But also, you know, most of them come from South America, and they can hack the heat. You know, I was a very, I would say, large roofer. I always weighed over 240 pounds. But that's what I was taught at 14 years old, how to put a roof on. That's all. Put a hammer in my hand. I didn't want no books. I didn't like school. I hated school. And that's why I want to go back to the other, I said 1,400 top students go one way, and then we got 3,200. So I got about 1,000 kids that are going to be just like me. But they don't have the opportunities I have. I had the U.S. Army that opened their doors to me. Come here, drop out. We'll take care of you. And they ripped me off a truck by the head of the hair. They could boot you. They could hit you. Those were the days. I used to love the ruler in school. I deserved it. Why? I couldn't read. You ain't making me stand up in front of other girls I want to take to the Keith Hall dances. What are you, crazy? I'm not reading in front of these girls. I'll take my licks out in the hallway. They didn't know. We know now. We talk about this on this show a lot. And I got to give some credit to John McDonough because he always says it. I don't know how he says it, but I think the biggest issue we deal with in the schools, one of the big issues is at the third grade level, you can see, can this child read? At any level, can he read? Can he read at the first grade level, second grade level? If not, why do we send them to the fourth? You did it to me, and I made it all the way, though, the junior year. You had to have the gift of gab. Know how to get do the teacher's book. No, do the teacher's board, take out her trash, do whatever.
You were lovable, Bobby. That's all you got. So,
But I
teacher's
love
pet.
that occupation. Let me tell you, John, okay? I was a prison guard. I know a lot about cops. I know a lot about firemen, prison guards, obviously. There's no better occupation than a teacher, but we destroyed them. We destroyed them. They can no longer teach. We destroyed nurses. Another great occupation of people. But guess what? They're not like they used to be. A lot of them just aren't. Where I worked, I say 40% of the people sat around moaning and groaning about everything, and 60% of the people do the job. I abused sick time, but I did my job. I was never late. I was always on time, and the captains would say, put Hoey here, put Hoey there, and I did what they said. I always did what my boss said. Maybe that's why I made it through it. You had to listen to your boss, but not anymore. It's a different world all the way around. But I'm here to see if I can help. The bully pulpit that I have here alone, and I'll be running into all the school stuff. I'm going to be a really happy man. My wife's not happy. She don't want me to run. But I said it's too important not to just throw my name out. I don't even have to raise $1 if I don't want to. I don't care. You remember that movie, Richard Pryor? He had to spend so much money, and he was out there saying, don't vote for me. And I don't know if you've seen the movie. Look it up. That's how I feel. I don't care about how much money I got. I'm going to be able to say things to, all of them. When they have these meetings or their school things, I love that stuff. And I hope I can attract somebody else in my district, District 3. Belvedere, come on, you don't have anybody who wants to run in that district? Something's wrong with you up there if you're not having someone run for the schools. I'm not going to run in District 3 even though I live in it. No way. I have to go citywide to have a shot to win, and I like winning. I don't like to lose.
Bobby, front page today's Lowell Sun.
Yeah.
UMass Lowell tuition going up. Good old Marty Meehan. Marty, we cutting your pay? Absolutely not. Give me your money. This bit here about home stretch for the contract. I'm going to ask any state reps that boast that we're going to have this bridge built. This is the Rook Bridge. And they're, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. If the Rook Bridge is not here by a year from now, or construction hasn't started by a year from now, will you resign? That's what you're going to ask these people who are up there ribbon cutting and smiling and, oh, yes, state rep said this, state senator said that.
Tuition is going up.
And when Melanie Gilbert comes, I'm going to tell her, did you ask them to resign? They don't talk to me. I don't care that they don't talk to me, but the issue with this Rook, the new Rook Bridge, I don't think it's coming. Thoughts, Bobby?
No, you got me thinking about Marty Meehan saying it's going up, the tuition, and I'm thinking about how many people are going to get free school.
Middlesex is free.
Yeah, but they're starting to look and talk. I watched them on TV this past Sunday.
What'd they say?
It sounded to me like they're going to give a lot of free schooling out to people all over the world. Come to Lowell, come to this place, and not taking care of our homegrowns. That's how I'm feeling about everything. My granddaughter was in the UMass conference center downtown. She had a room. When they were seniors, you'd get that place. Then they were thrown out. Go back to the barracks and go see your grandfather and live with him. I didn't like that at all. So I'm not happy either with ULO right now. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I think it's a great school, especially engineering. My granddaughter did fine out of Lowell High and ULO. But I'm still going to say I didn't think it was right to tell the seniors that I know how hard she worked to get there. And go home with your grandfather. Go live there. Or go back into the, I called it barracks, I'm sorry, the dorms, Just disregard them like they were nothing. You mean nothing to us. That's how I felt as a grandfather. But what can I say? It's important. If you're not getting a college degree, you're going to be not well off. I was very fortunate the Army took me in. What's wrong with this country, Mr. Trump? President, come on now. Accept dropouts. There's nothing wrong with them. That's what we need to go back to, something like that.
Well, how many dropouts were you in the Army with, Bobby?
Quite a bit. You're going to get a lesson. Like, listen, even if if you're one of the students like I was that couldn't read and you're struggling, Low High will give you an education like you can't find all over the world.
Can't you get a GED and go in the Army?
You can do that. I tried the GED. I flunked that too. I didn't pass that. The Army, they just gave me one out of a Cracker Jack box. That was it.
Brewster's Millions is a movie.
That's the movie. That's the movie.
Vote for none of the above was the tagline. Tell
Yeah,
me.
it was just a beautiful movie. It'd make you laugh. I think he had to get rid of like 200 million to get $1 billion, that type of thing. And spend it any way he could, so he spent it on an election, telling people, don't vote for none of the above, don't vote for this, don't vote for that. It was a great movie.
So what happened?
I think he won. But Richard Pryor, he was a good comic. Yeah, I think when you get me thinking about other things like that, I get off track all the time. And I know when I try now, as I get older, of course, I can't say the way I learned how to read, but what happens is you don't retain it. Some people don't retain it as well as others. You read a paragraph and you got to go read it again and again and again to really absorb what they try to tell you. So it's not an easy life for someone that can't read.
Well,
It's easier now than ever.
Back when I was a kid, they lacked teaching children study habits, different ways to study. Like I found out that the best way for me to remember stuff was to record it and play it back in my ear. And I got A's in school. Once I started to do that, I got A's in school. The Rourke Bridge should have been done before UMass Bridge, but for some reason it wasn't. Makes you think.
They got that up quick, didn't they?
Well, that's a city bridge. I think the city owns that new bridge. I'm not sure, but I don't.
Well, I think when
I
they
think they do.
when they build the Rourke Bridge, it might be a good idea to put a little bit of housing under the bridges, because a lot of the people that we talk about all the time are living under there. Living
So
under
we
the
should heat
bridges.
it, Put some kitchen stoves in there and
No,
some
I made a little
refrigerators.
bit of a joke of it, but there's another issue that, watch this governor, what this governor's trying to do. I can't wait to see all the results of everything. And then Trump coming down on her. Yep.
Bobby, I think that the people that are out there are mentally ill. They need to be forcibly housed. But now with this business out in California, there's 10,000. I'm gonna guess once the fire's finally out, there'll probably be 30,000 homes that need to be rebuilt. 30,000 homes.
There's no doubt homelessness is going up. It's not going to go down.
And what's the solution? Free housing?
I don't have the solution. I know what I feel is we're very lucky to have the demographics that we have in Lowell, because we were taught, not taught, but an Irish family, all we did was split from each other. I don't talk to my uncle, I don't talk to this one, I don't talk to that one, for all kinds of reasons. But if you look at my friends, my new friends, Dominic Lay, Cam Kay, Ritty Young, all those type of people, they want people together. They want their family, they want their grandfather, they want their grandmother, they want everybody living with each other. You seen it in the last election. Belvedere, what they want? Single-family homes. No additions up here. And it brought Everett Kitchen, whoop, right to the top. He won. Rita was second, I believe, right? Poor Vesna Noon almost fell out. Another Ned Tarmey says it all the time to me. If that election went another week, Vesna Noon would have lost. I goes, really? And Vesna fell. Why? Because Vesna lives in an area that they want the ADUs and they want to live together. It's just the way it is. But what's better than seeing a South Common with kids sledding on it? John, did you see that?
Fantastic. Eric did that video. I shared it on Facebook.
Oh,
Fabulous stuff.
that was good stuff. Yeah. But remember when I say that, talk talk about baseball. I love baseball, so I hope they bring it back a little bit more. Just keep working on it. It just might get a little bit better. It's hard, though.
I think
It's
baseball is
hard.
losing its popularity because it came off of free TV.
And
I think you got to go over to pay TV to watch the Red Sox play. We lost the Spinners. That was a political move by the Red Sox. We had a good thing going with Lowell.
yeah, we sure
And
did.
all the political might in Lowell couldn't save the Spinners. I don't think, so that's sad that they're gone.
But that's why when you look at you, Lowell, we criticize it for this and criticize it for that, Monty, me, and of course, we look at, they were talking on TV about how much the basketball coach makes. And it was like, it's over $1 million. You can look that up easily. I think Marty was about 6th or 7th. They were all making $1 million or more,
Marty's
close.
making $1 million now?
No, I say 800 grand though, And when you look at that kind of money, it's that's what's growing on people. And
Comment
then
from the audience, once the homeless got pushed out of the common, they had to go somewhere. Yeah, they live down by the railroad tracks now.
John, when we were talking,
Page 2, the Rook Bridge will be around 400 or 500 million by the time it's finished, well above the 120 million estimate. Remember the Big Dig started with 2 billion, ended up being 25? Good point, thank you. Back to you, Bob.
no, it's just the Rourke Bridge is actually. I laugh because I have friends that throw things out on Facebook about it, but I won't. They tell me I won't be alive.
It's gonna take a
I won't be alive.
fire truck to go in the water. That's what's gonna give us a new Rook Bridge. When a fire truck goes through the bridge, then they're, oh my God, we gotta fix that bridge. We gotta replace it. That'll be emergency. That's what they're waiting for. This is guff that they're gonna build a bridge. That's baloney. It ain't gonna happen.
Not totally sure, but I think, again, going back to engineering and engineers, that was a temporary bridge built by the Army engineers, I believe. I'm not positive about that, but I thought that's what I heard.
The Rook Bridge?
Yeah.
It's a used bridge. It was in Connecticut first.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm just saying. I thought it
One of
was.
my friends that lives in Connecticut, John Alley's the guy's name. It was in his town.
Was it?
Yeah.
And they just
Picked it up and they brought it to Lowell.
look at how long it's lasted too, huh?
Well, I mean, the structure of the bridge, the putt you can really see is fantastic. And years ago, I got this fantastic, does a great zoom job. And I zoomed in on the underpinnings of the bridge.
Yeah,
The other part of the bridge is gonzo.
I remember that. How about? Did
Probably
you ever?
5 years ago.
Did you ever walk across the pedestrian bridge part of
I'm
that?
too lazy.
It's a cage. It's a cage.
Hey, we got to go to break, Bobby. We're coming
Yeah.
up on. I'm going to go see if Karen's at the door. We'll be back. Thanks.
Is that who buzzed in? Good morning. Welcome to City Life. I'm Bob Hoey, the host today. Tom BOMIL's off today, NED TARMEY's off today, and Cassella's here to replace them. No, I'm just joking. She was planned to come here
Good morning.
at 7, and John McDonough's behind the camera. She brought in a bunch of cookies for, I'm going to say, for the family here, because I'm not going to eat any of her cookies. She gave me a whole tray of brownies. I ate them, and I ate all of them when she gave me them, and a large plate.
Well, Bobby's reporting he's going to bring them home to his wife.
I'm going to tell you,
Which
no,
means
I
there'll be
got
some passages.
I seriously have to stay away from the baked goods because I get hit Thursday with Evelyn Thorin. They just keep coming at me. But the first hour I was going off about schools and how I'm throwing my name on the ballot for law school committee again,
Excellent.
even though my wife is not for it. But I told her it's important to me, you know. And she said, "Well, go ahead then, do what you want to do. Leave me out of it." I said, "Okay, no problem." But your election to me was the best election I ever seen in my lifetime. Really, you had everybody. I mean, everybody. The mayor of Boston, the governor, everybody was
Right.
against you and for the other person.
I stole your name,
And
right.
you just won, in my opinion, again, because this is an opinion show, about the people. People against money. They win every time. Family and your friends. Boop. They all came together for you. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, but my first thing watching was who you were going to hire as number 2. And I'm a big fan of, I think it's his father. Yeah. Herky Santos was
Yeah.
a tremendous police officer in the city of Lowell, just a great guy. I loved the Herc. He was just something special in my age group. We all looked up to him. But
No, Addie's a great guy.
yeah, but your choice of this Santos kid, Sean, what's his first name?
Arthur.
Ah,
Addie, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
But he was in the school system when I was on the school
Yes.
committee for 7 years. He was really a real good computer person. He's got a
IT, yeah.
lot of skills.
He's an attorney.
Yeah, I knew that too.
Yeah.
But his skills in high tech stuff, that ought to be a big plus for you. And the things you were telling me you wanted to do.
Right.
So I think as a number 2, you brought in a pretty good person.
Yeah, I do think so too. Addie, when I was thinking about who could I bring in, I said I did talk to a few of the girls inside, but this was my choice for to be my assistant. Addie's just a fabulous guy. I definitely wanted to kind of keep, in that office, you have to really understand the documents. So to take someone that has no knowledge of it wouldn't have worked. Because how can you, defend putting on a fraudulent deed if you don't even know what it consists of? So I wanted someone that knew that and understood the law of recording documents, and that's what happened. So Adi he's an IT guy. He has a great personality, really low-key. He'll be really good in the office with the girls, with the public, going out and doing seminars with myself, and I think we're going to be a great team. I couldn't have gone wrong.
I think it's a great hire.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I started you off with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, the second thing I'd like to ask you is, I remember losing 3 times in an election.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you losing 1 time
Right.
in an election. How good did it taste when you won?
It
How
was
good?
awesome.
It was, huh?
Unbelievable, yes. I couldn't wipe that smile off my face if I tried.
You're thinking, oh, I lost last time. Can I beat him this time? But
Right.
and you told me he handled you pretty well near the end.
Yes.
He treated you nice.
The past few months, both the assistant and the register, he was helping me just get acclimated with the software programs he uses as far as making reports for the internet and for the assessors. So I was working on that, doing payroll, anything to do with administrative work. They were training me to do that. So, of course, 2 months isn't a lot. So I think in a few months I'll have it down pat. But I took good notes and everything's working so far. So, and Adi will be starting March 3rd. And then once he gets in there, I already ordered a few things so we can start doing our seminars as soon as possible with the elderly, because the homestead was such a big thing for people, and they have increased it, things have changed. We have a new the Massachusetts indexing standards, so the way people record documents have changed a little bit, so we're dealing with that right now because I want everything on the way it should be. You know, I don't want mistakes made. I'm trying to make sure the girls understand to really take time to look at those documents so that we can help the customers, the attorneys, make sure there's no errors. So it's good. The office has been running good. Everyone seems happy. And we're open, so if anyone wants to come in, the girls can show you how to use the internet. The office is open to the public.
Now, Karen, you're a registrar or registrar
Register of Deeds.
with the ER?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, we invite anyone in. So,
I see a lot of that on TV about how these companies are trying to help us protect our mortgage and our home and how it can be stolen off us. There's a lot of commercials about that on TV.
I know, well, so
It makes people worry.
Right, and they should worry. I had someone call me yesterday. She was thinking someone was stealing her property, but that wasn't the case. But I will say, I had someone come in. She was with her boyfriend or a friend, and she had this document. It made 0 sense. It wasn't even to the standards that we would accept a document, and she says, I said, do you own property? And she said, I am claiming, she was to claim the property her baby landed on. I said, not in this registry. I said, do you own property? We only record documents that pertain to property that you own. And she said she did. She gave me an address. It was not her address. Then she said she had a business, but it went on, and she continued to say she did this in another district. So I didn't understand it. So she gave me her license, and I looked it up. And sure enough, I said, well, you own this, because I found the deed and the trustee cert. So she was super happy, and she said, well, I'm going to record this document there. And I said, well, I'll give you some advice. Email it to the register. Don't just go in there, because it might not go on record. It wouldn't go on here, and I'm sure she's not going to accept it. But if you are insisting, email it first, get the approval. So I called the register just to let her know what I found, because I started doing the title. And on that title, I said, this doesn't even make sense. There's no possible way that this girl bought this property for $10. It just didn't make sense. So after more research, I just got an email yesterday that the police are now involved. It's a fraudulent deed. So they're out there.
Yeah, that's
So
why
it's just us, and I told all my girls in the office, if we're uncomfortable and you feel that it is an incorrect document, I'm not in the office, we're not taking it. I have that right to not accept a document, and if they're really forceful about it, we'll take a copy, and I'll look at it, and then I'll make my decision within days, but I will not take something I'm not comfortable taking. That's how I'm going to run the office.
And now when you, yeah, I figured that.
Thanks, Karen.
But, yeah, you're welcome. So, yeah, it is. I mean, people can do it. And I will say, the scary part about this girl, her license matched that deed. So not only did she put a fake deed on, then she went to the motor vehicle and registry of motor vehicle and had a license put in her name with that address that she really doesn't own. So we have to be careful out
the
there.
scams are all over the
Yeah.
place, you know. But we talked about that, and what's on my mind now is this old Superior Court, the way you used to be.
Right.
I always felt it was a bad move, moving you guys over to the courthouse, but now that I look at the whole picture, you're over at the courthouse, you now have that job, you also have a husband that's in that courthouse, great policeman to protect you, so, but what did you think about the move out of here? I just said, you know,
Right.
and if you don't want to answer it, that's fine too, but I always thought we need a new police department, throw them right in there. They have the lockup, everything's good for the police, you know? And then
Right.
they moved you over there. I thought you could stay right here on Gorham
No, I
Street.
know,
That's how I felt, that's all.
I did like that building. It was old, but it was nice. So we were like a family in there. We had Superior Court upstairs, and housing came once a week, but everyone in that building knew each other. So then once we decided everyone was moving out, it could have been just the registry, actually, and we could have done closing rooms and maybe expanded and rented space up there to attorneys, right, in offices. But I loved that building, free parking, plenty of, and it was close for people coming off the highway to come in and record their documents. But, I mean, obviously, the new building being super clean and new and, you know, I'm used to it now, but I do like that old building. And we don't see the court offices. I know them from here, but I don't know a lot of the ones that were in district or juvenile court, but, so it's different, but at the same time, you know, as long as you get out of the office for about 10 minutes and walk around, you'll get to meet people. We do have a nice little concession stand, though, inside the courthouse.
Yep.
So when the girls are, you know, well, actually, we had that store, X-Mart. We were always over there. But,
Now,
Well, Karen, I think you should consider opening a little bakery on the ground floor. Good stuff, thank you.
I can cook for the concession stand.
Yeah,
Bake.
I still have your plate at my house, and I did eat everything. You remember what was on that plate?
Yep.
No human being should eat that much. I ate all of it. My
It was in
family,
your head. You knew you couldn't, so
yeah,
you had
Michelle
to.
tries to stay away from it, but if it's on the table, I just
Right.
eat it.
I know, I
It's-
wanted to, this morning, I'm like, I have to bring something for them. So I said, I figured the lemon cookie with the blueberries would be the best for the breakfast, and then you have the chocolate chip cookie later.
Now, do you see any increases in your office from ADUs? You know that issue there, putting an addition on a house or
Not right now.
not small houses, people that have property, they're gonna put a small house, let's say, on it? Do they have to go to the registry of deeds? They would, right?
Well, I'm going to assume, I don't know all the regulations on them, but if you are going to do any type of structure or change, you should put on some type of permit or variance.
Right.
So I would think they will. I don't know if they've even started yet.
No, I know Michelle already got some help off of you a while back about our deed, just making sure everything's good, but
Right,
it's something that's growing across the country. I know the scam artists, you know?
right.
It's-
Well, that was the thing about even me being there so long, so that girl that came in that had already recorded in the other district, I was able to actually run a title on that property. That's how I knew, by looking back to 2016, 2011, I'm like, there's no way this is an actual true copy of a deed that should have gone on record. I mean, she clearly forged it. There's no doubt, in
so
my
Karen, now that
mind.
I'm done my cookies, you brought in the copy of the program of the swearing-in ceremony down on January 1st. So I'm gonna put that up so the audience can see that. And pretty cool stuff. So I didn't realize we had so many registrars of deeds.
Yes,
And these are all the people who got sworn in as a registrar of deeds. There's a lot of them.
Did
Right.
they have food for you down there?
yes, we had a little
They
luncheon
usually
after at
do.
the UMass Club. Yeah, it was nice. It was a great day. And it was
And
January.
there's the Honorable Karen Cassella right there. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And
that-
the thing that surprised me is they were open January 1st
I
to
know.
do it.
Yeah. They had everyone up there being sworn in.
State reps got sworn in
Yeah.
that day, and
We were all in different rooms, so
hey, congratulations. Well
thank
done.
you so
Yeah,
much. It was
you know,
great.
On the earlier show, the Dawn Patrol, I brought up how Liam Skinner became the superintendent of schools by Danny Rourke's vote, pushing it to say, let's hire this guy instead of looking for him. And then Dominic Lay came in kind of flip-flopped. He'll be mad at me for saying that, but joined Danny and helped show that there's a career ladder. You can come from here, become a principal, and someday you too can be making $250,000 a year, like our city manager. Now, your raise, I'm sorry to bring it up, but you went out, you were maxed out, I would think, at 32 years, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, I was, yeah.
Right, so if you don't mind, what is your, and you deserve every nickel you're gonna get, what is your pay now compared to when you were working there?
Double.
Doubled. Beautiful. See,
And she gets the park inside.
well, I always say,
I like that inside part.
hey,
Oh, that's good.
well,
I like the
I make a joke of it all the time, but my cousin Tom Hoey is a cop down at Harvard University. He was also an aide for Steve Pangiakakis, and his wife works at Lowell General that makes over $1 million a year. So I now call Tom Lucky. I don't use him by his first name. But isn't it a nice feeling to have a wife that your husband must be happy, and he earned that in that election, boy,
Right?
visiting.
Oh.
How many towns, by
10.
the way? 10 towns.
Well, all due respect,
But
with Dick Howe, we get good service out of Dick Howe. He brought the Registrar of Deeds into this century, and now we have, you're going to keep it going, Karen.
That's
So
right.
We're going to get excellence out of Karen
We're
Cassella,
actually
so-
gonna, we're talking about, so there's some money in the tech fund. So we're talking about getting some new software and computer systems, so make it easier for everybody.
So satellite offices, what are you thinking?
Well, I would love to do the satellite offices. It just is the amount of money in the budget. So,
Can they do it from home? That's what I'm
well,
trying to make it.
Well,
so
we might be able to have them be able to record from home with the new software, because Essex South, you can record from home. So that is something we can do. But once Artie gets on board, we're going to start just looking at other registries, just to make sure, this is something we would want, and see how they operate. So I've talked to one of the IT guys from Boston, and he thinks it's going to be a great program to start to get into.
And this is all, you still have paper deeds, and they're all also in a cloud, in an electronic cloud someplace?
Yep. So we now give back the documents. Once we take that document in, we scan it, make sure the image is a clear and, great image, and then we just hand the document back.
So what is, in court, which one has a heavier balance, a paper document or an electronic document in
Well,
court?
either one would have to be, if you're going to court,
Yep.
they'd have to come into the office we need a certified copy for the courts.
So that'd be a paper document, certified. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
now, when you said there was 10 different towns you had to get, how many precincts altogether? Must have been upwards of
Oh.
30, I would say,
at
right?
least. There was so many. That primary was trying to get everyone out there to hold signs.
Yeah, because I was
It
trying to
tough.
figure out why your husband wasn't back fast enough at the Pine School with more
With more
muffins and coffee,
I
right?
know, he was great.
But I didn't realize, he had over 30 stops.
Yeah.
So he must be happy that it's over.
Oh, he's definitely happy.
And I know you recent had a grandchild, right? Not too long
No,
ago?
Well, my granddaughter's 3, but I'm having one March 21st.
I knew something like that was
Yes, my
coming
daughter's
up.
pregnant, due March 21st, and we're super excited. Having her shower in a couple weeks.
It wasn't too long ago you had a wedding, right?
Right, yep,
Yeah.
June 30th was the wedding. My other daughter's getting married in September. So, family's growing.
It's
We
all
love
good.
it. Yeah,
And another good thing is, all you have to do, I'm a guy that got a pension like a lot of people in the city. We try to teach your kids to go for a pension. You have 6 years, right? Your term?
yes, the term is 6 years.
So all you need is one term. You don't have to work too hard about getting reelected unless you want to be here. And
Right.
I just want to say this to you. I like the idea of getting out as soon as I can, but I was only a guy that did 20 years. I could not do 32 years to get an 80% pension. See, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is when running for schools, I want to find ways for teachers to be able to get out of there if they want to.
Right.
Because I could do that. 20 years, if I did 20 years, I'm going to get 50% of my pension with medical care the rest of my life.
Right.
Very good perk to have. But I went through 20 years of people throwing crap in my face and urine in my face and calling you all kinds of nasty names. The 20 years is enough.
Right. No, that is a tough job anyway.
Oh, yeah, but I'm thinking of a teacher, too. Their job's not easy anymore. And for them, most of them not have to, but they want to do the 32 years. That's why they become teachers.
Right.
They love kids. Any teacher I ever dealt with, God bless what they went through with me. But at the same time, we have to find ways to make it easier for a teacher. Because discipline is out of control. I was saying this early.
No doubt.
And in my day, Karen, and I said it many times about across the street, 7th grade, when a teacher sent me to the principal, and at the time it was a Mr. Noonan, okay, I'm going way back, I wasn't sent back to that class that day.
Right.
You can bet I got my knuckles hit or something got hit, and I sat on the bench with a book for a couple hours till school ended, and then had to go home and tell my dad what happened to me that day.
Right.
And now they don't have that. They don't have that at all. They send a kid down the hall, send them right back, that type of issue. So my thing is, why can't teachers, if they want to, we got to find a way so they can retire early.
Right. Well, the state used to give incentives when people were, to get people out earlier, they'd offer.
Yeah, 5 years, something like that. Yeah, I
Or
remember that.
even like $10,000. They were offering, there was, the last time I remember, they offered, I think the employees $10,000 to get out early. But you had to make sure you were out.
Even if we don't lose a lot of them, it's just a way for them, the ones that need to escape their job.
Right.
I know it definitely helped me. I couldn't do, I needed to do 7 more years. I've been out for 15 already.
Well, I'm planning on 2 terms.
2.
And then, yeah.
Well, you're going to keep jogging. I see you jogging down Nesmith
Right.
Street, and that might keep.
I know, well, I have a knee issue right now.
That's all right.
Bone on bone, it kills, so.
No, but that's how you do it to stay in shape, I
Right,
can't,
right.
I'm not running
no.
anymore. That's for sure. But,
Yeah.
yeah, so 2 terms.
2
Well, that's good.
terms.
I'm glad you're saying that. That's, then we won't have to work too hard for you, all of us, and you had so many people.
Oh, God, it was
I look
great.
at the list, this guy right here, John McDonough, and, I'd pick Eric Gitches, those type
Yeah.
of people. But your husband you wouldn't believe how big of a factor your husband was for you.
Someone just mentioned to me at Al Fresca, I saw your husband on every corner in every town, every single week. He was somewhere different.
I barely know your husband, but I know him enough that everybody I know loves that guy. He's like a Jerry Begley. I don't know if you ever heard that name. But certain people like that, Tom Cassidy,
Right.
working for you. Bring me a sign. I need it over here at Tewksbury. I need a sign. I said, you got 2 signs already. I need another sign. That type of thing. So,
Yeah,
Well,
well,
I'm going to do the announcements.
okay.
So your mics are still going to be working. If you don't want them to work, shut them off, but this will take me about 2 minutes. Okay, so if you want an announcement on this show, real easy thing, that's my cell phone number. Just give me a call, and we'll make sure it gets out there. Today, it's very important for people living in South Lowell to understand we're shutting your lights off at 9 o'clock tonight. Like it or not, shutting the lights off at 9 p.m. tonight in South Lowell and a lot of Tewksbury. So lights are going out at 9 and 9 p.m. And so if you want to watch The Lone Ranger, it's after 9 o'clock. You ain't going to be doing it. And then we demanded that they put the lights back on so they could watch City Life tomorrow morning. So at 5 a.m., I'm just kidding you, 9 a.m. tonight, 9 p.m. tonight till 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, there is no electricity happening. So I think Kim Scott put this, City Councilor Kim Scott put this list together. I think she did. I clipped it off of Facebook.
Freezer. Yeah.
And these are the streets, the addresses that will definitely be affected. Some of these are in Tewksbury. Some of them are in Lowell, so take your fancy phone over to the TV set, take a picture of these. And if you have a relative living on Felker Avenue or Forest Street or Rumford Street, Lowell Street, Armand Avenue, wherever you think they might be living, take a picture of this and call them and say, don't forget tonight, we're shutting your lights off. Even though your bill's paid, there'll be no electricity from 9 p.m. till 5 a.m. in the morning. Why we're doing this in the middle of winter? Well, the electric company doesn't take questions, so I think it's wrong, but this is what's happening tonight. I haven't heard otherwise. It's really going to happen tonight. So moving on to the next announcement. The Bridge Club of Greater Lowell, down on East Merrimack Street, the old Lallis Buick building. They're saving lives down there, and they're having a fundraiser. January 19th, this week, 1 p.m. at the Songus Center, and tickets are cheap. They're only $20. So good organization. They have a website you can go to, buy the tickets at songuscenter.com. And so please consider supporting the Bridge Club. And it's the retired Boston Bruins against the Lowell Police Department playing hockey at the Songus Center on Sunday, January 19th. And moving right along, the Polar Plunge, the Keith Polar Plunge is coming up January 25th. A lot of people love this. This is down, I think it's in Salisbury, Bobby.
Seabrook.
It's
Yeah.
in Seabrook. And the Keith Family Polar Plunge, January 25th. That's this weekend. Yeah, this weekend, Martin Luther King weekend, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And their website is keithfamilypolarplunge.org. So take a look at that. Moving right along, if you're down on your luck, you need some free food. This is from Thanksgiving, and I put this up a lot, so this will get deleted one of these days. But at any rate, take your fancy phone over the TV set, take a picture of this, and if you're down on your luck and you need some free food for your family, consider stopping in any one of these places, or at least call them up and see if you qualify for some free food over there. And the buses, LRTA, free, all the buses are free, every one of them is free. So if you're jogging down Andover Street and you break your leg, you can wave at the bus and the bus will pick you up and they'll bring you to the Kennedy Center. It's free. Bus drivers are all very friendly. Everyone I've ever met, very friendly people, clean, well-lit, safe bus ride. So consider utilizing the buses. They're all free until September 30th. Now today, whoops, too many. Today is January 14th. Today at the Lowell Senior Center, they're having barbecue chicken. The Lowell Senior Center serves lunch 7 days a week. Get over there around 10. The only rule is you gotta be 60. You can live in Timbuktu. You can live in Tewksbury, Tingsboro. We don't care where you live. The Senior Center in lovely Lowell, Massachusetts has a hot lunch 7 days a week. Now, Martin Luther King Day on Monday, they're closed. It's a holiday. But today, if you mosey on over there around 10:30, go in the front door, you're gonna see a gal at the door. Her name is Tara, friendly woman, and give her your $2. And you get a beautiful barbecue chicken today. If you don't have the $2, she'll give you the ticket for free. And that's the lunches for the rest of the week. And again, the only rule is, I may go over there Sunday. Look at that shepherd's pie. Good. I had their shepherd's pie plenty of times. Delicious stuff. But the only rule is you got to be over 60. Let's see what else you got for announcements. Okay. The mill number 5, they're being forced to move to their new location, which is going to be the old St. Jean the Baptist Church. Beautiful facility over there. They need a little bit of dough to help them out to make the move happen. They have a GoFundMe page happening, so if you go on Facebook, and I got this off a Lowell live feed, but I'm sure if you go to your computer and ask them about the Mill Number 5 group, you'll find it. So they need some help right now, so if you could send them a few bucks, that'd be great. Golden Gloves. Now, Keith Rudy, he was supposed to come today, but he's got the flu, and he doesn't want to, or he's not feeling tip-top, so he didn't want to spread that to anybody, so he stayed home. Go back there, Johnny boy. Okay, and so here's a QR code. Take your fancy phone over there, and they can go to their website, just put it in camera mode, and you zero in on this QR code, and it'll bring you to their website. And happening every Thursday until March 6th. So we'll be talking about this a lot. And hopefully Keith will be feeling better soon. He'll be back. And Bobby, that's my last announcement. So going back to the crew where only all the women do the work. These other guys just look on. So back to you guys. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you do them, because the polar plunge, which is the 25th, I'll be more prepared next Tuesday with all information about it. But you don't have to go in the water. So if you want to come down, there's a couple of hundred people that,
Most importantly is write a check.
yeah,
Right.
most important thing. But at the same time, it's a great place to go see a lot of your old friends. There's a lot of laughs when you go into cold water like that. I'm going to be more prepared than I was the last few times. But I'll have more information Tuesday, and I'll throw something out on Facebook because it's a real important thing to do year after year. This will be my third or fourth one that I've done, and it is a lot of good time. And the people that dump on me down there when I'm coming out, they say all kinds of things about my 70-year-old body now. But that's okay. They can dump on me all they want because the Keith Polar Plunge is a lot of fun. Believe it or not, a lot of fun. I know you were part of it before, too.
Yes,
So
we'll be there this year, too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Just
the
meeting
Heath
each other.
families, Yeah,
Sean Kremen, you know him.
Yes.
I'll try to outdo him. He's a tough guy to beat, though. He really is. But that's what helps. Promotion.
right.
Promoting things like this is a great way to get it to come very successful. So, again, Karen, I want to talk about Santos, Mr. Santos, I'll call him, because I just keep thinking her.
We'll have to bring him on the show.
Artie's younger than you, Bobby.
Huh?
Artie's younger than you.
No, I know that. I know Adi, but when I think of
Good
Santos,
guys, good, great. He's got a nice, bubbly, friendly attitude
Right.
with life. Friendly guy to talk to.
yeah, and to me, everything's going toward the phone. People, that's all people live on. It's unbelievable, and I think his knowledge is just in technology right away. Never mind being a lawyer is a great hire.
Right, oh, no, absolutely.
Great hire.
He's been helping me already, even, trying to do different reports. You have to go through them. Repetitive, going through all the software and trying to grab, we do these reports through Crystal Reports. Then you have to grab the information, put it in an Excel sheet, and when you're not used to using different programs, it can get difficult. But we're there, we get the report already. It's just now loading it up on the internet or on our website. So, and these are all things that I never did before, so they're new.
So if you
me.
want to attract people like John McDonough and myself over to the Register of Deeds to show us something new you're doing, just do the baked goods, good cup of coffee, and we'll come.
Well, honestly, so I thought, okay, because all the attorneys that would come in or anybody, off the street we get a lot of permits decisions, right, coming in. So I said, I'm going to set up a nice coffee station and I'll bake some cookies. But then I felt the Association for the Blind runs the store, and
Right.
and that's taking from them, so I didn't
Karen, on
want to do that.
these little seminars you're going to do, I encourage you to be in touch with Drake at Access Television.
Okay,
Guy's name is Gary Muse. And ask Gary if he can video. And then Gary's not going to do it. He's got a ton of volunteers that work out there. He teaches the high school how to do video. The important thing about creating YouTubes is an edited YouTube of the highlights of these things, I think would be very important that you could also put on your website. And it would help the public to understand these are the many questions we got to ask. You don't have to put the questionnaires on TV, but you can certainly hear their questions.
right.
So to do these seminars, and you'll be astounded how many people actually go and watch these videos.
Right.
So
Yeah,
just
I
consider
should-
calling Gary Muse, because
Yeah,
you cover
absolutely.
Drake It, and Gary, good guy, so I'd call Drake It Access TV, ask him to video, and then put them all up on YouTube.
Thank you so much. Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
You know, with the homestead too, it used to be 500,000. Now it's $1 million. So if you're over 62, it's $1 million for each person. So it's changed a little bit.
So if you live in Palisades, California, and you have a $2 million house, it burnt down. But in lovely Merrimack Valley, $2 million house can get protected with a homestead.
$35, yeah.
35.
yeah.
So walk me through the process. So I just call you up, I email you, what do I do?
Well, there's a form, yeah, you just want to get the form. You can come in, we have the forms there. I'm a notary. There's another girl in the office that's a notary, so we can help you with that.
So you go in the new courthouse in Lowell
Yep,
and look for the Register of Deeds and,
right, yep, we're on the first floor, come right
Okay.
in. The girls will look up the deed and give you a copy of your deed as well. And, I mean, if you have one, you don't have to change it, but if you don't have one, it's well worth coming in, get that on record. So we can do it. Before, we would tell you to go get the document notarized, come back. Now it's one stop, come on in, we'll put it on record, we'll notarize it. So $35, cash a check. The state
and what does
does-
this protect my house from?
So it protects from creditors. So if you have, it's not going to protect you from not paying your mortgage. It's going to protect you from if you had credit card debt and you couldn't pay it, they lien the property, they take you to court. They can get that lien. They're going to put it on, record it with us. It's
Yep.
going to go against your property, but they can't force you to sell to pay that debt. So it's
You got
well
your house
worth
until
it.
you're both gone to heaven.
Exactly. I mean, if you at some point wanted to refi, depending on how many years after that, you either have to pay the debt or, you know,
But
if
for old
it's,
timers like myself that are lucky enough not to have a mortgage,
right,
the only protection you have, especially for these ruthless electronic people that are trying to steal my deed, the Homestead Act is a good thing to do for $35.
it's well worth it, yes, 35, yeah.
And all I got to do is just show up with my ID. Do I got to bring the other owner of the house, my wife?
You should, yes, yeah. Both owners should be
Well,
signing the
Say
property.
all owners. So if my
Yeah.
sister-in-law's on the house, we should bring all three musketeers. All owners should come at the
All
same time.
owners should be signing that homestead, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, last thing I'll ask you, and I'll let you say anything you want, is when you run for this election, the first time, 2018, you kind of knew you were up against a giant.
Yeah,
And the way you kept your composure throughout that election was incredible to me. I was there the first time with you, and I was there the second time with you. But this time around, I've been involved in elections for quite a while, over 25 years anyways, about 30 years. I've never seen an election like yours in my lifetime in Lowell. And
Right.
for you to come out number one was, to me, the biggest thing I ever seen. I couldn't believe how many people were against you. You know, and what you do learn, and I've been involved in 7 different local elections, either for city council or for the school committee, you always learn one thing, who your friends are. You'll know that forever. And you also know who the phonies were. They're your
Right.
friends here, but they're also over here, you know? And that's what's great about elections. And I just hope you inspire some other person to come out and run for our local elections that are coming up this year.
right.
You have all those type of things going on, and not that you influenced me to run for the school committee this time. It was more a guy named Fred Wilkie.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, grumpy Fred. He just tells me to live, and I've caught him this year saying, "Boy, this guy he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's living," and it's fired me up. He inspired me, and I hope somebody out there right now that watches this show gets inspired by you, knowing how hard you worked, but also you're going to reap the benefits of it. So
Well, the other thing is, right, you don't have to be a politician. If you believe in something enough that you know you can do a better job, put your name in there. Go do it. Try it. It's well worth it.
it doesn't hurt to lose, right? You lost
No.
once. That didn't bother you, did it? To lose, it bothered
Bobby,
you.
it's a
Come
killer.
on.
I don't like to lose, but
Yeah, no, and it just showed how hard you worked, though, you know? Because I could tell when you were having the high days and the low days. You could tell,
Right?
you know?
Absolutely.
And I would try to just say something to inspire you, saying, don't worry about this one. And you know what I really loved about your election? Yeah, want me to read that one?
Go ahead.
Free buses, free food, social services galore, and then everyone is surprised that the homeless are in Lowell. Nothing is free. Someone's paying it. Thanks, Jay. Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And that's what I'm getting out of ULO right now. They need more money. And it's very simple to see why they need more money. I believe they're number 2 as far as jobs. It's about people. You know, the Lowell school system, how many times have you heard me say it? $255 million budget, approximately, and about 88 cents out of every dollar. I hope someone corrects me on this. 88 cents out of every dollar goes to pay staff. Think of that. That system got 28 schools in it, 1,200 teachers, about 500 paras.
How many administrators, Bobby? How many people are in the Bon Marché building?
no, you got-
Never teach a classroom.
What you have, it's called unaffiliates. A lot of those. The top part's not as big as people think, because the ones over
Remember, they filled
100,000.
up the Rogers School with them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that work here called unaffiliates. They're not in the unions or they're not in the management. They just sit and wait to see what teachers are going to get, and then they're going to get the same thing. Year after year after year. But don't forget, it's social workers, psychiatrists, all kinds of different people that make over that amount of money. So yeah, we're top heavy, no doubt about it. My thing would be look at job descriptions. What's this person supposed to do? When you go to negotiate a contract, what's your job? I want to know, what's your job? Why don't you ever work with children, let's say? I won't pick on a particular job right now, but why don't you ever go out and work with children? Why ain't that in their job description? You know, and it causes friction. You know, so there's a lot of work to be done. But right now, I think the Lowell school system, just by getting Danielle McFadden to put her name out there, like Karen Cassella did, put your name out there to run for citywide. I was so excited to hear this Danielle McFadden, and I don't know her. Do you know her?
I do a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know her from different, the
I know-
Chamber of
Yeah.
Commerce, and, yeah.
Yeah, and all I know about her, she's got, let me guess, 3 kids at Pawtuckaville Memorial School, and that's all I needed to hear. I'm so happy that she come out. It's crazy. That's what I think Lowell needs, a few more people to come out for city council.
Right, well, especially when you have a child in the school, you already know different things, right, that are going wrong, or what you thought you could change, right, what you think you could change,
I think back of some of the teachers I had, and they were incredible people.
right?
We can all think of at least 1 or 2, 3 teachers, or none, that did so much for us, right? That's how I feel.
Yeah, I remember my second grade teacher, Mrs. Dorr, Mrs. Boyd, there's a few, you just don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. McLaughlin from
Yeah,
the Moody School.
there's
My
always
English
somebody.
teacher. Yeah,
Yeah,
good stuff.
and that's why.
They make an impression, and you'll never forget them.
So we need people to come out and run for sure.
Oh, yeah,
Especially
definitely.
District 4 needs somebody really bad, in my opinion. And I know they'll come out in our district, which
John's
is.
not running?
Yeah, I hope not. He doesn't need that.
I'm seriously thinking about, it's a lot of work, but if this guy we have right now, nice man, but just lackluster performance. If I were a city councilor, there wouldn't be a big gigantic bump in the middle of Elm Street. We would have plowed the snow in the snowstorm. We would have put salt down in the snowstorm. My colleagues reported coming in from, some live in suburbia, that Lowell was the only place not with snow-covered streets. Everybody else had black streets.
See, he'll be hard to beat in this district, only because he lives downtown, I believe, and that has.
Good
well,
guy.
as
He's
far
a nice
as
man.
votes
He's
go,
just lackluster performance.
But-
These are the districts we're talking about right now. And this guy, Wayne Janess, his district starts at the Drake line and goes to the Lowell Connector. crazy configuration, but I think that the city gerrymandered this to make sure that it's going to be difficult to get elected. So I think that's what the city did. I think there was gerrymandering that happened. You'll never find out about it because they screwed Bobby Hoey, putting him
No,
in
they didn't. They didn't chaff. They didn't chaff me. Believe me. But this
Yes, they
District 4, though, the thing, Hamilton Canal area, that's where the voting base grown. Okay, the rest of District 4, most of it down here, back Central Street and all these streets, they don't vote. It's almost like they don't vote at all. So he already has a big part of the Hamilton Canal area that's going to vote for him. So you need someone that's going to, I would say come from the other side of the city to come out of the woodwork and run against them, because I think that section can be beat. I think Corey Belanger is going to be in a battle. There's no doubt about it.
Well,
He's
they already
working.
got a gal running, and
Yeah, he's working hard at it.
I
Believe me.
forget the
to-
gal's name, but she got front page on the Little Sun. I'll look up her name.
I don't
Oh,
read the
really?
Lowell Sun, but was it a Gendron?
No, the girl I did, she was on the library board.
All right, good.
I'll look it up.
And District 3 will always get candidates out. I mean, there
Well,
was
South
a,
Lowell, so right now we got Corey Belanger's over here. Is this Corey Robinson over here in 2, Centerville?
yeah,
And then we got Wayne Janessa's here.
yeah,
Got Kim Scott's doing this guy.
yeah,
This is Sakari Chow.
yeah.
Wow, that's,
And Paul Rathayem, he does District 7. Then we have the mayor.
Danny
That's
Rock, yeah,
Tuckerville.
yeah.
And South Lowell, having a brain cramp. The new guy. He took Eric's seat.
Yeah, John Dakota.
John Dakota, yeah.
John Dakota.
So I think they all need competition just so they keep their skills sharp.
I think
So
this
if
year
you
we'll
got a
have
kiddo
it.
or grandkid that wants to make $25,000 a year for a side job called city councilor, step up to the plate. Bobby, when you get on the school committee,
Yeah,
you need to, thank you, Patty, one of our viewers, I don't think she wants me to say her name.
it's okay.
Belinda Duran is the gal running in Belvedere, Belinda Duran.
Okay.
Thank you, Patty. And I just think that they all need competition, and it just makes them realize that their seat is not a given.
right.
You have to earn it every time.
Well, yeah, you know how you and I and a few others were always barking on this TV show about the South Common. Well, the Lowell police have done a tremendous job, a big part of why it's like it is, trying to keep them 1,000 feet away from the school, and they did it. And the Lowell police, to me, is one of the best police forces in the state of Mass, and I'm not afraid to say it. We've lost a lot of good cops through retirement. You have more coming, and that scares me a little bit because you're having a hard time recruiting people that want to be police. But drugs is the issue that Lowell has to go back and try to wipe out, the drug dealers. And if I keep preaching that, and we can get our city manager to understand that, that's what you need to do. You need to go after the drug dealers. No matter if the courts are doing their job or not, just keep putting them in the courts, one way or another, and eventually they'll disappear, and Lowell can do it.
So, great job today, Bob. I hope Ned's doing okay. Look forward to his next visit. Also, a big shout out to Karen. That's from Jay. And then, just in case you want to spell Belinda's name, and again, I thank my friend Patty for sending this in.
I'm
It's,
glad. It's nice to see people coming out.
Also, Patty just said there's a woman by the name of Erin, could be a guy, I don't know. Erin Gendron is
Yes,
rumored
I
to-
believe that's Steve Gendron. He's back in this area. Maybe,
Is that a
I
girl-
think
a
that
girl or
might
a
be
guy?
his
It's a
daughter.
Girl,
Girl, okay.
Yeah,
no,
that
daughter-in-law.
daughter-in-law.
Erin Gendron, okay.
Well, having Steve Gendron back in the area too might bring him out, and I hope he comes out. That'd be great.
Yeah,
That's
he's a
what
good
Lowell
guy.
needs. That's what we need.
It's Steve's daughter-in-law.
Okay.
Well, I think
I
when you
dro-
grow
I-
up here and you
yeah.
see where we're at today, you can see the difference, and it might make more people come out to change things.
Oh, without a doubt.
So-
The earlier show I was talking about math teachers, okay? Erin Gendron is rumored to be running Steve's daughter-in-law. Not too long ago, I don't know if you know him, on the earlier show I was talking about math teachers, okay? because I know Low High has a tremendous math teachers that can get kids into some great schools if they write letters for them and everything.
Right.
I've seen it happen to me. But I threw it out here about Billy Florence. You know him?
Oh, yeah.
I would. Oh, he was he was the best math teacher you could ever lay your eyes on. It was middle school, but I remember touring the school and going into his classroom, and I couldn't believe the way the children were focused on everything he talked about. There wasn't one child not paying attention in his classroom.
Right.
And I grew up with Bill, and he's a tremendous math teacher, tremendous. Zach Gitcher is now a math teacher.
Oh, wow.
In Low High, I'll leave a few names out for now, because soon I'll be able to praise all of them. It's amazing the job that we do, and we get kicked all the time because of our test scores. Drives me crazy. Really does. It's not about just test scores, believe me, it's not. It's a big, big issue. 15,000 students. We got as many as you, Lowell, Karen.
Right. Well, don't they got rid of the MCAS, right? There'll be no more MCAS?
Yeah.
It'll be replaced with something, but there's no more MCAS, you're right, there's no more testing. You're gonna get a graduation, you're gonna get a diploma with no test. Welcome to Massachusetts, where everything's free and we just give you a diploma. I wonder if you have to attend the school. Do you have to attend to get a diploma, Bobby? How do they get your name if you don't attend? Tomorrow, City Life, we got Linda Bounds coming. She's the host, and the town manager from Tingsboro. He's a great guy. I love talking to him. Colin Loisel. And the best state rep that ever lived, Colleen Gary. She's coming tomorrow. So that's tomorrow, City Life. Time is shot, Bob.
Yeah, well, Karen, thanks for the
right.
baked goods. I know that plate will be empty. Don't worry about it. Not
You're
at all.
welcome.
Yeah. After John and I hit it, we'll bring it over, and John's.
I already had, I think, 6 cookies.
There
so
you go.
Right?
I might be done for the day.
Uh-oh.
And
So if anyone wants to come into the office, come on down. We're open 8:30 to 4. We'll be there. You can do your homestead, and the girls will help you on the internet if you would need some assistance learning how to use it.
And look at the weather before you go down there. You don't want to be going down there tomorrow when it's going to be windy and
Oh, I know.
zero-ish.
It's a wind tunnel around that building.
You gotta walk. Well, there's a good-sized garage across the street. Are they utilizing that garage, the one that
That
Lapoli
garage
built?
is used all the time. And it's pretty, if you're in before 9 and out by 4, I think it's only $8 for the day.
But there's no walkway over to your building? You gotta go outside?
Yeah, you have to go outside, yeah.
That's too bad. But at any rate, it's right next door, but it is a little
Right.
bit of, bring your toasty coat.
I always watch the weather every morning before I leave the house, and the 25th, when we do that polar plunge, well, you're hoping that the weather changes. I believe it's going to be more closer to like 40 degrees that day on the 25th.
Well, what does it say now?
But tomorrow's going to be like, you're going to think it's below zero.
Right.
It's cold today, but it's going to be a lot colder tomorrow. The whole week looks like it's going to be cold. So by Saturday, the 25th, I'm hoping for about 35 degrees, water temperature about 39. I'd be happy. I'd be happy. I'm already chilling out thinking
Right.
about it, but it is. It's a lot of fun for a great cause.
Right,
the
good
Keith
families
po-
involved,
Yeah.
yes.
My
Yeah.
well-connected friend
Yeah.
Patty sends this text in, and it says, John, they will take the MCAS, but not a graduation requirement. Thank you, Patty.
Yeah, I know who Patty is. That's pretty simple. I know.
Okay.
She's the
Well, if
best.
you don't sign your text, I don't say your name.
No, that's okay.
That's why Jay gets up there being Jay.
Most of us know who they are, though. We know who they are. And it's nice to have you here today, Cameron. I would have had to do 2 hours by myself
Right.
sitting here, just John and I. So it
No,
was
thank
great
you
that
so
you come in.
much.
Yeah. Feel
John,
free.
we'll have you back and
Absolutely.
talk about this as you get into the
Maybe we'll
job.
have my assistant come in, too.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
Bring
right?
Arthur, that'd be
We'll
Yeah,
have
that'd
Andy
be
come
great.
in.
Yeah. Yeah, because to me, it's all about the software. You know,
Right.
who has the best software, you know? You have to be careful there, too, if you're purchasing software, to make sure, like in the school system, let's say Jay Lang or someone at that level, you don't want them getting their software off their relatives, you know?
Right.
You got to watch who you buy stuff off and everything nowadays, so,
Most computers
this-
are made in China,
Yeah.
And there's a chip in it that they can shut it off anytime you want. Anytime they want, they can just shut your computers off.
Yeah, I forget what I was talking about with my son, just in the kitchen, and next thing you know, they're talking about it. They can hear us. These phones,
Oh, I know,
These phones
absolutely.
definitely can hear us.
Yeah, when I say, let's look up Guatemala, and you go up in the search engine, Guatemala's
It's
already
already,
in there.
yeah, it's not good.
It's true. I know.
That's why it's all
It's
about.
scary.
Well, what you talk about, it's true. I'm glad you're doing that, because we don't know what we're doing at home, most of us senior citizens, which I can call myself now. I guess you gotta wait till you're 70 before you're old.
Well, when you used our computer when you came in,
Yeah.
you could use our internal programs, but they took them off because they're worried that someone could come in with a USB, put it in the computer and infect the
Say goodbye, kids.
Goodbye.
computer. Bye, have
See
a
you
good
tomorrow.
day.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.